dangerous. If you're one of us, then roll with us, cause we make the hipsters fall in love when we got our hot pants on and up. And yes, of course we does. We run in this town just like a club. And no, you don't wanna mess with us. Got Jesus on my necklace.
Hello, fellow book people and audiobook lovers. Today I'm going to talk to you about Behemoth on audiobook. I actually waited for this book to come into the library because I loved the first one so much. I listened to Leviathan on audio from the library also, and it was done so well that even though I knew the book was coming out and really wanted to read it, I waited for it to come out on audio because it was such a good job. Allan Cumming reads it, and he is an actor, and he is fantastic. Not as good as Jim Dale, but he would probably be my second favorite reader ever. He does amazing jobs with the voices. Darren is a girl, and Alec is a boy, and he does voices for both of them with different accents, German and Scottish accents, Irish accents, Austrian accents. He does them all. It's amazing. He really, really does a good job. So I would definitely recommend getting this on audio. This is actually a playaway. And if you don't know what playaways are, they're these cool little gadgets that you play like an iPod. You put your speakers inside or your headphones or hook it up to your car's auxiliary or whatever you want to do. And I listened to it with my kids, which was great because even though it's a young adult book, it's really clean and there's no profanity or anything like that in it. So my kids really, really liked it a lot. As a matter of fact, my daughter Reagan did her own review of it over on Reading Tween blog. As far as the book goes, it was fantastic. I loved it. If you haven't read Leviathan yet, I would suggest getting it on audio and listening to it. If not, then buy it. It has fantastic pictures inside of it too. I actually went out and bought the books. I lent them to a friend, so I don't have. Oh wait, I have Leviathan. It has cool little pictures, illustrations throughout the whole book, as well as like in the front, a map of, and then like all the little creatures. Basically, if you don't know what it's about, Darwin, instead of the history that is real, this is an alternate history, and where Darwin actually discovered DNA and how to cross the DNA of different types of animals to create these gargantuan creatures that can do all these things like mimic people's talking and carry messages, and the Leviathan itself is this giant whale ship that they actually travel on that flies. So, and the Behemoth is a creature that's in the water that's kind of like a kraken. So the Darwinists are people who kind of believe in what he has done and use the creatures that he has helped fabricate. The Clankers are the opposite end of the spectrum, where they think that Darwin's theories are, ungodly or whatever, and they have basically made machines that do all these fascinating things. It makes me think, like they have walkers and things like that. It makes me think of Star Wars type creatures. It takes place in World War I, and it's just really, really fascinating to hear history and what happened in history, only all for different reasons and different things, even some different outcomes than actually happened in history. Darren is an amazing character. I love reading about her. My daughter Reagan is 10. She absolutely loved Darren, and I think she may want to dress up like a boy and join the Air Force now. But anyway, Alec is a great character also, and I love the interactions between them. He doesn't know that she is a girl, so it makes for a very interesting read. I love stories where girls dress up like boys in order to, get into the world that they're not allowed into, because Darren's not allowed to be in the Air Force as a girl. So definitely get this. I love it. It's one of my favorites all the time. I cannot wait for Goliath. I will be getting it on audiobook as well, but I also will buy the book because I love the books, and I love the illustrations. So happy reading.
airship had left the Italian peninsula behind last night, and the flat sea stretched in all directions, the afternoon sun scattering diamonds across its surface. Seagulls wheeled overhead, carried by the cool ocean breeze. Best of all, there were no officers up here to remind Darren that she was on duty. 2 German ironclad warships were rumoured to be skulking nearby, and Darren was meant to be watching for signals from Midshipman Newkirk, who was dangling from a Huxley ascender 2,000 feet above them. But she wasn't really dawdling. Only 2 days before, Captain Hobbs had ordered her to keep an eye on Alec, to learn what she could. Surely a secret mission from the captain himself outweighed her normal duties. Maybe it was daft that the officers still thought of Alec and his men as enemies, but at least it gave Darren an excuse to spend time with him. "Do I look like a ninny?" she asked Alec. "You do indeed, Mr. Sharp." "Well, you do too then, whatever they call ninnies in clanker talk." "The word is Dummkopf," he said. "But I don't look like one because my stance isn't dreadful." He lowered his sabre and came closer, adjusting Darren's limbs as if she were a dummy in a shop window. "More weight on your back foot," he said, nudging her boots farther apart, "so you can push off when you attack."